All right, so looking for those cold spots, you should be able to see me in there, red, orange, and yellow guy. This will work out, sorry Tim, but that means I'm the hottest guy inside the frame right now. Yeah, because all ladies are sitting in front of me, and Race is like, yeah, that's funny. I got jokes, don't worry. So we're looking for cold spots, right? So those cold spots are gonna be blue and black. All right, so the blue and black I'm looking for, there's always gonna be blue and black because of glass, aluminum cans on the ground, that kind of thing. I'm looking for it to move or to take shape. When I say take shape, I want a head, shoulders, moving arms and legs. That's what I find out of this guy. I always like to give you guys stats of the equipment that you're using. I will normally get about 4 to 5 solid pieces per year, not per episode. Okay, so kind of keep that in mind. However, this camera is probably one of the coolest ones to watch when I give you your video back, because you learn a lot about thermodynamics and how this guy actually works. So I don't know, do you actually like watch these videos? Like,
No,
you said you use them.
Yeah, no, I dispatch for fire.
Okay.
And they're always using thermal cameras to look for hot spots and homes that have like electrical issues.
Perfect.
So we get videos. Sometimes they'll send us videos to kind of give us an idea of what they're looking for. So like for timing, understand their safety. But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Love this guy. Unfortunately, somebody broke my upgrade. We're on a downgrade right now while I'm waiting for the insurance money to fix the upgrade. But with this one particularly, you're looking, so Tim, this is going to go to you. So this one, obviously look for those type of darker areas, and if they're standing still, more than likely going to be something we can see with our own eyes anyway. Again, nice slow sweeps. You're going to handle this guy right-handed. So keep the camera on your left. Don't handle the camera. It will pop out of there. And then your start and stop button is right. That's what we need for it when they sit in front of them. Your TV shows and movies. What's your first question? Perfect. Thank you. So let's say the 5 of us stood around and I said, is anybody here? Just like that, David, right? And then, Shanna, am I pronouncing that properly?
Sean. What do you have?
I had it Shanna, and my wife has a husband Shanna. So when I see the spelling of it, it's Shauna. So Shauna hears the answer no if I ask that, is anybody here question. That means somebody's here. Luckily for us, we only have one vehicle in here tonight. So once I give you the history, here's how this location will work. I will spread us out after the history and kind of do round robins with everybody to kind of see what's going on. In a nice small group, I'll probably do 2 or 3 round robins, take a bunch of notes, and then regroup us. Communication devices, which is pretty much most of you. This is where I stop giving you all of the answers on purpose. I'm going to be withholding things. I'm not going to give you questions here like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did with the Big Red Barn. You will be getting the answers from focus questions that I'll hand off to you off the devices that you're using. So it's not always going to be a conversational piece too. We want the facts. So like when you're giving me like, now it's this firm. Now it's
Facts was 12.7.
Take 12.7. That's your base for this location. Start moving it up. Now, where are you? This used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion. Their mansion sat in the front of the space facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with 5 Church Restaurant, came all the way across. We are standing in the servant and slave quarters for the home. So, who the heck were these people? Charles and Eliza had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 Chucks, in case you weren't paying attention. That's why we look for the secondary clues. In the event that you hear the name Charles, I need to know which one it is by a secondary clue from another device so I know how to address them. They are 3 different men. You guys got the point on that now, right? So, the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. It's a big deal for us, but I hate politics more than all of you combined. We're going to move on. If I don't give them that recognition, by the way, they will do it for me in a very nasty manner through a spirit box. I try not to piss off these people. You're going to see that as we kind of move through here. Moving on to Eliza. Eliza married Charles at a young age according to today's standards. If you ask her how old she was when she got married, do not expect numbers from the colonial days of when young ladies got married like 12 and 14 in the 1700s. Think of today's standards because the husband was over double her age when they married. It was creepy then, it's creepy now. And I definitely don't have to show my mom tonight because we don't have couples tonight, right? We got parents and daughters. Moving on. She married Charles because her father was over in England, where his family's from, and he thinks he's dying. He's trying to bring all of his kids home one last time so he can see them. Eliza didn't believe he was dying, so she stayed put right here and got married. It's 1744. You don't get married in that year to get a green card. We're not a country yet. This is a true love story, everybody. There is nothing horrific about this location at all. So again, if anything, it's a place of respect. But anyway, back to Eliza. She was correct. Dad did not die right away. Instead, he starts sending her gifts from England to where you're standing. One of those gifts happens to be the plant seeds of indigo. That's a plant that makes blue dye, makes your blue jeans blue. Most of you have it on tonight, because that's how we use it today. When she got the seeds, she didn't know what to do with them. She had to learn from her servants and slaves how to keep it going. It's not always warm here. And and she had to learn how to make the dye. So we got some folks coming through. Tim, you might want to just lower that belly shot level.
Yep. Gotcha.
And then she learned how to make the dye and moved to a pack drop, and got a hold of her dad and told him that the rice plantations were going downhill. They were going to make the killing.
16.6 whole.
12.1. That's the other one.
We've been getting 12.7 as well.
Okay.
And now it just went to 16.6 and the whole whole.
So with all of the information I told you, we now have an international businesswoman during colonial times. Something absolutely unheard of. That's the boring business stuff, Eliza. Let's get into the weird stuff, because that's why you guys are here. So I'm going to give all of the communication devices a set of focus questions. I want everybody to keep in mind that I am running a voice recorder. Tim has a camera, which is also recording audio. So if you're asking a question, the answer can go to any device. So that's why I always have, even if it were just 2 of you here tonight, we're still going to use a minimum of 2 communication devices and a camera. Just to make sure that we're getting them on communication back. So that's why you're going to tell me all the silly things that you're hearing. So we're going to start off with yours. You're going to have the focus of Eliza's death. The 4 major questions that we get out of her.
20.4.
Of course, as soon as I bring up her death. 4 major questions. How did she die? How old she was when she died? Where she's buried? What president was a pallbearer at her funeral? Do you know what a pallbearer is? Okay. Pallbearer are the people that carry a coffin to their grave.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it's an honor to be able to be one of those people. So a president did that for the young lady I just told you. Yeah, exactly. That doesn't tell you how important it was, or important she was. I don't know what will. But those are going to be your 4 major things. You can either ask these things out loud, or you can either just focus on them. There's no right or wrong way. Moving on to your device picks up 1 to 2 syllables at a time. You've already kind of seen that. The mansion's not hearing. Ask what happened to it. If you get the what, we will often get 2 or 3 numbers from the exact date of when that tragedy occurred. I'm giving you a clue that it was indeed a tragedy. Keep in mind that answer of what could go anywhere. So again, it could literally go to any device. With your word generating device, I want you to focus on which Eliza we're dealing with. Let me explain. Eliza, that I just told you of, is the second wife named Eliza and Charles back to back. First wife named Eliza died in January. 5 months later, he marries the one I just explained. Now, the first wife, Eliza, also has a maiden name that starts with the letter L, as does the one with the indigo. So hopefully you're going to figure out which one we have, but your device is also kind of a catch-all for either very conversational pieces that you've already seen, or it could be what the other young ladies are asking from their spirit boxes as well. So by the way, obviously you're going to be on unmuted, so she's going to be able to hear you, but I normally kind of endorse, swap things up if you need to. So if you want to play with something else, if you want to let Dad play with the spirit box, you check out the camera. I'm okay with it, just keep it with the people that you game with. So that's kind of what I like to keep everyone sanitized, so keep your germs to your own family. I don't think I need any other major questions.
No.
Can I record on my cell phone of the device while it's talking in case I miss something?
Okay. What's odd is, it's funny that you asked that, because I normally pair that up with somebody with a camera, so that way it doesn't get missed, because you're normally going to be with the person that you came with that has a camera. This is actually a weird setup for me, the way I just, put this out there. But yeah, absolutely. If you want to record,
send to whatever.
you can if you want, or you can keep it for yourself and wait till you find something in that recording that you didn't hear in real time, and then let me know what you found. I'm okay with that too. However you want to do it. I'm always about it. So I want to keep you behind just so I can show you how to work that little word device. All right, guys, spread out and start listening. I'm going to be catching up with you in a few minutes. Have you heard anything since we've been here?
No.
No. All right, crank that thing up and start listening.
What happened to them?
All right. Surprised. You're about the 3rd person in 4 days to tell me that.
As soon as I walked over there, it said
I want to know what song has the name Eliza in it, because that's not a common name. So, very cool. So you said you got all the way up to a 20?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to the 20 point?
I'm going to Google it. What song has the word Eliza in it? There's one result. It was released in 2013. by Anna Calvi. There's also, I'm seeing a total of just a few results. Okay.
I just heard wedding bells.
Wedding bells?
It sounded like wedding bells.
Okay. See, and this is something we've not been told about. There was the mansion here.
Yeah.
Are you asking your questions? Got people walking there across the parking lot. That would be the Ginger and the rest of our crew.
I kind of maybe portrayed that maybe she got married here. It's more like she just stayed here and got married in Charleston.
Yeah.
But I am going to tell you, her wedding anniversary is nearby as far as date.
Oh.
So maybe you should ask what her wedding anniversary is and hopefully you get that.
Do you want the key?
Huh?
Do you want the key?
No, we're just trying to find a bathroom.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll be a bit.
Anything?
Not yet. I get the camera. So. Oh. Well, I asked and you said no. I'm just looking for the bathroom.
I said, well, we're just looking for the bathroom. We weren't heading to the vehicle.
Okay.
I just went to 3.
She has one of the sweeper things, the EMS, the frequency things.
And then once you reach like the 25 that'll
Okay.
Oh, is this family?
Yes, that's
Oh.
my wife, my other daughter, and cousins. So.
I thought you were just talking to random strangers, like pitching my tour out here.
No, I will be. Yeah. For sure.
I've had people do that. Like, people are always like, "What are you guys doing? You guys ghost hunting?"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Yeah, you need to go talk to the guy with the backpack."
Yeah, this is neat.
How'd they get done before us?
I don't know.
So he said, I just got like a demonic voice over here.
What did you hear? What it said, or
it was
just a growl?
Really dark.
Really dark.
I heard John.
We're still near Big John's.
Anyway, he said that he said the 9-3 was relevant, or the 6-3.
So you heard those numbers?
I heard 6693.
Okay. I've not seen anything, but it's really weird. So when you look, like you'll see a spot. Can you see? But it's something over there. There's something over there in front of the wall.
I think it's a piece of wood.
Well, it'll be to the right of that light because it's set away from the wall because the brick is holding in the heat.
Okay, so I heard the name John.
Okay.
And then I heard it was like a really quick, dark voice. But I don't know.
So normally when it comes to tone of voice and gender, I don't care.
Okay.
They're using, think of that thing as Bumblebee from Transformers.
Okay.
Right? So Bumblebee didn't have a voice box.
No.
So he's just going to use whatever voice comes through with the message that he needs to portray to humans. It's the same principle. So if Eliza's talking to you, she doesn't care what the voice is.
Okay.
She just cares what the words are. Like that's kind of how I look at it.
I didn't hear what it said. It was just like everything was like, this was normal, and then that just got really intense.
Okay. And it may have been disembodied. So if you come across that again and I missed it in my spot check because it wasn't on my intervals of what I listened for, and you find it and you think it might not be radio chatter, send it over to me. I'll analyze the hell out of it and I'll tell you, like, hey, was this an actual ghost voice or was this just radio chatter that we just can't make out? Must just be reflecting.
Something reflecting.
Yeah.
Is it from the green light?
From the green light.
Yeah, that's just weird.
Yeah, just a piece of plastic. All right, Judy, show me that list.
You look ridiculous.
Say what?
You look ridiculous.
Wow. You're not nice.
It's content for this video.
Yeah. Maybe we'll swap out with one of the other people that like me.
Exactly.
But there's nobody else here like that.
You don't listen?
No. Do you want me to? Do you want to take this?
Yeah, they don't know.
Remember, keep your
And-
right hand forward.
Your glasses
Did you
are-
turn?
It's all the way down.
Okay. Where's the wheel?
Right here.
It was doing the smooth like Jagger.
But it's going to still show on the list. Okay.
Even though they show up super quick, like they may come in and out so quick you can't even read them. Like I've seen that before. I've been using that app, not paid for 6 years. It's actually great. Pretty good. You guys swapped out for a few?
Yeah.
Did you hear anything else before you handed it over?
Not really. It was mainly just the songs again.
Okay. I've just been going through
There's a lot of radio noise.
yeah, that's what you're listening for.
Yeah. But like just relevant, like normal stuff.
Yeah,
Commercials.
and that's, again, that's what I want you to tell me that you hear. If it comes up clearly, that you can make it out, that's where you're going to tell me to save 25 cents on upside gallon of gas today, you know, kind of stuff. Because you don't know that the number 25 isn't relevant.
5 miles.
I'm gonna guess the number I gave you that you said was relevant was the husband's age.
No.
No. Oh my gosh.
Home equity.
Home equity and 5 miles. Alright guys, I think I'm going to regroup us. Let's kind of see what we got going on. We're going to go back to the back again. Go ahead and hit stop on your camera.
It said punishment. Went to mad, sold, marker, beach, and Christianity.
It's weird about the sold because they're by the market.
Could be. I have to see if there's anything else that would tie around that sold. I do like where he's going with that, but I would want like market or wares because it doesn't necessarily where a lot of people have been so I don't even know, Tim, if you know this history about the actual market, but it is not where slaves were sold.
No, it was, so the slave, they call it the slave market. It's where most of the produce locally was sold. So the slaves went to the market. Yes. So the slaves went to the market to buy the produce and stuff for the house. So is what we've been told.
That's part of it, but there are other parts of it too where I'm sure you guys have seen people making like sweetgrass baskets. That's kind of where all of that started, because they were trying to buy their own freedom. So what they knew how to do from their own gullah culture was to create those things out of sweetgrass. So that's where that whole culture came from. Of all the sweetgrass baskets and the roses and all the things you guys have seen during the daytime. So yeah, they would go there and try to sell those things for themselves. Much the same way. So, but yeah, he's absolutely correct. Most people are like, oh, it's the slave market. You know, if you get anything from here, I'm like, it's not what you think it is. So, a lot of people get that misnomer, especially people that are out of town. But anyway, every ghost tour comes down here. This is a staple for every ghost tour. We are going to be telling the same damn story, but the only reason I'm continuing with this guy, because I was going to take him out of my route, he follows me. Obviously for the bleed over to our next location, and then he will show up again at our last location because of the places of raised emotion for him. You have to imagine that his story has been told for the past 40 to 50 years through normal ghost tours, and finally a guy like me comes along that can communicate back. So that's the reason why I feel like he follows me around. And again, he has code words to let me know he's around. I'm not telling anybody what the code words are, so when you guys hear them, I will tell you that that is the code word. It's not something you would normally hear on the radio, so if you hear it, I know specifically he's there. So you'll see that as we kind of move along. And it can even show up on your word list, we'll see. But anyway, this is Philadelphia Alley. Again, I'm going to be giving you a few extra details in the Campfire Marshmallow Ghost Store that's down there. Did I say that out loud? Oh shit, I did.
No.
It's okay, I make fun of them all day. I don't have a whole lot of friends in this industry. Can you guys tell? Like, some of them will walk by and fist bump me and recommend me, but again, no friends. But anyway, I'm going to give you a few extra details, mainly for the communication devices. Again, your baseline starts at an 8, so that's where we're at, lamppost near us. We're going to give off up to a 7. Here's how it goes. When Doctor moves down here from Rhode Island, his name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. In the event that the song Brown Eyed Girl shows up on her recording while we're here, it's not coincidental. It's part of his name. We get it all the time. So anyway, Dr. Ladd moves down here from Rhode Island because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a lot of money from her dead parents, and she has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. He tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. He moves to Charleston to prove that he's not after her money. On his way into town, he had a coachman. The coachman set him up to be robbed and killed. It's like having a really bad Uber driver today, by the way. So just kind of put that in perspective. Yeah, same thing here. Whenever we have people coming by, we'll kind of either split the seas or just join in nice and close and let them pass by. I normally stop talking whenever people pass by so they're not poaching off of us and they're looking at us like, what the hell's going on? But anyway, so where was I? Back to the coachman. The coachman, somebody was walking by and seen what was about to happen with this coachman, and he stops Dr. Ladd and says, dude, I know this guy. He is going to try to kill you. That's his MO. He's got a gunman inside. Come with me. I got friends at 59 Church Street. You can stay there and rent a room, and you'll be safe. Well, that person's name that gave him all that information, his name was Ralph Isaacs. He has the same initials as where the doctor came from, Rhode Island. So we were getting the letters RI all the time on a regular spirit box, so I bought another device. Basically like a digital Ouija board that works off of EMF. So anytime there's a spike in EMF, it gives us a letter. I wanted to verify that we were getting the letters RI. In the year that I've had it, we've had it about 7 times. So that it always shows up whenever I say Ralph's name. So just kind of keep that in mind. We're going to let this very large group pass by, and then we will continue. Evening. Hey, how are you? It's in a little warm. A little bit. We'll stick it.
It encourages me to talk to dead people. Souls.
I know the song. I don't know why. No, we literally listen to it all the time.
Either way, that's pretty impressive.
He was a 22-year-old.
Another reason why I don't want to even take my normal ghost tour up to 20. I think that's a group of 20. So that's why I would still want to keep it between like 10 to 15. Like 15 would be an absolute max. Just because I don't want your stragglers to be rude to other people. But anyway, not to mention it can't be hard to hear down here when there's like 10 other tours in this area. But anyway, so back to Dr. Ladd. He took him up on the opera at 59 Church Street. The two gentlemen became friends, and the longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after him and his money. He's making his own. She gets wind of this, and she's moving down, so that way they can be married. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is why I hate the story, everybody. It's a giant cliche. Every haunted city you will ever visit has a cliched whistling ghost. We all have one. Like, it's just a thing. It's kind of like the Lady in White, right? So we all have that story too. But this guy, there's so much legitimacy there. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. So we are actually in Duelers Alley. Like, that's the name of what this used to be called before it was Philadelphia Alley. This is where some of the duels used to be. Yeah, in the city of Charleston, which is exactly why we are talking about Dr. Ladd. Let's talk about that. Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston, right? So he gets better seats. Now, on the way home one night from seeing Richard III, the two gentlemen are arguing over the new Actors Stages song. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph didn't. The argument then turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée back home in Rhode Island, and it got really ugly. They went their separate ways. Now, Ralph has friends around town, and he goes to his friends at the newspaper. Places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of you're a jerk to society kind of stuff. Doc saw the ad and rebutted with, let's go to Duelers Alley. We're going to settle this and somebody's going to die. Right? Keep in mind that this argument started over an actress. Yeah, kind of dumb. Anyway, the two gents came down, back to back, took their 10 paces away from each other. They turned, Doc points his gun in the air and shoots his one shot. He didn't want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage to show off, which is often what happens at a duel. But Ralph has his one bullet in his flintlock, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc didn't die, but Ralph proved his point. He's still pissed. He's not willing to forgive. Doc fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street. He died 10 days later, November 2nd of 1786. I'm going to point out a couple of things. He also refused medical treatment. It's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different back then than what we know of them now. He's also a doctor, so he probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself. So he obviously failed because he died. Now, every tour that comes down here will tell their guests to listen for the whistles. Like, that's a thing. Now, we are running my voice recorder on my phone right here, and then we also have the audio from the camera. If we're going to capture a disembodied whistle, more than likely it's going to come on one of mine or Tim's devices. However, the device that Reese is using, I can't tell you how many times I'm spot checking that audio, and you already know what increments I listen to, and it always shows up a whistling part of a song and then the word doctor from a commercial immediately afterwards. So I don't find that coincidental at all for the amount of times that I found it. Like, I'm talking hundreds of times that I've been coming down here. If you're going to try this on your own, which it seems like you guys already know where you're at because you already mentioned handprint, and you're going to walk all the way through this alley. We got a furry friend coming through.
Yep.
Just keep in mind that if you have your voice recorders running on your phone, every local knows this story. Everyone's phone. So.
Hey, pup. Oh, I'm sorry.
So, anybody walking up and down Queen Street or Cumberland Street, we all throw a whistle down the alley. It's just something we do here in Charleston. So you can debunk a lot of those pretty easily. That's why I like to rely on the spirit boxes to give me a whistling sound or the word whistle itself. So here's how I got kicked out of here. It's the fun part. Get to the fun part. This alley didn't go all the way through the way we came in. There used to be a wall up there. And this will probably be a little bit more information for you on your handprint. So that wall was up there halfway because this used to be called Cow Alley. This is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. So cows, chickens, and goats are down here. So what does that mean? That means that the bricks down on the other side are older than the ones we're standing on. They're sun-dried bricks from slave children. The full handprint of a slave child in one of those bricks, and fingerprint swipes in others. You got to go further to the left on the playwright side to find it. I just got to dig a little bit. So basically why I'm telling you this is because I used to take my groups all the way through here to give them a history lesson on the handprint because there's nothing paranormal about it. You already know how I feel about graves and headstones. The kid's not going to be there. It's the last place you're going to find him. Exactly. That was November 26th of 2020, I took my entire group all the way through. And they're all huddled around that brick waiting for something to happen with the equipment that I handed them, and nothing's happening. We're also right outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm trying to be respectful, not realizing I was out of bounds. I was still new at this. So the new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because her father's getting yelled at and she was on tour that night. She thought it was hysterical. So we moved on. Next day was Thanksgiving. I used to work in upper management for Walmart, and you guys like to fight over cows on Thanksgiving. I've been scarred for life. I don't work on Thanksgiving anymore, ever again. So I didn't have a tour that night. The next morning, I called my partner that brought me into tourism out of retail, and I told him what happened so I could try to figure out what to do next. And he laughed at me just like my daughter did. He said, "Dude, you're only allowed to go down about halfway. Other than that, it's considered residential. Reroute your group." I'm like, "Oh, damn, the rest of my tour was that way." So I told my group that night, because I don't believe in the next story. The next story then, because again, we're changing it tonight because of, I think out of that spot too, was about pirates. And I'm not into pirates, at least I wasn't back then. I'm into vampires. And I was like, and I've never had anything happen with any of my gear over there anyway. I was like, but we're going to see what happens. Before we left this space, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The female pirate, Anne Bonny. It was kind of a, okay. So I took them up and around the corner, told them what I did know about piracy, and somebody else heard the number 300. I didn't know what it meant. Wrote it down. Turns out we were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. Oh, wow. We were there the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial.
What?
You guys are all saying, wow, and what? And I'm like, yeah, no, I was pissed. Let me explain. Master's degree in creative writing, and all of my other degrees are in some type of writing as well. Now, what does that mean? That means that whenever I'm doing anything, I need to research with facts and data. Pirate stories come from pirate lore, which was written 100 years after the golden age of piracy, which is the days of Blackbeard and Anne Bonny. That means whenever my teams were finding something, I actually had to do more research by reading more books than I ever wanted to on pirates in my entire life. However, 4 years, I was getting pretty good at it until they started being sticklers about tours being over there, and I spread my people out. So it's not like we're just stopping and talking about the building and moving on. We're stopping, we're discussing Anne Bonny, why we're there, and then we spread out, and I was like, no, this isn't going to work. So he's actually kicked me out of there twice. The stupid, crazy parking lot attendant with his brand new shiny yellow vest thinks he's going to be a badass. So I know, right? So I'm just staying clear there for a few weeks. The next story that we're going to, unfortunately, does deal with a baby. You both heard the word baby along the way here. We're actually closer here to that story, but we are going to go around the corner because we're going to be switching cameras over there, and I'll explain why once we get there, just based on what's going on. So you will be listening in along the way, again, unmuted. Do we have anything going on with your two devices?
So, nothing with this.
Okay.
But when after Christianity, it came up with remain, short, like other people were leaving, and it said remain, then it said short, Sandra, voice, where, and relatively. And when it was saying, when it voice came up, like this whole thing was all the way up.
Yeah, that's just kind of it growls too. We can turn the volume up if you really want the scare factor. When did you hear the 911 piece? Where were we?
I think we were over there, were we not? Or were we coming down here? I think we were walking down here.
I think we were walking in this area. The only reason I'm bringing that up, you have the name. I don't always bring this up until I have clues. I actually lost a good friend of mine about a year and a half ago. Her name was Sandra. And her birthday was 11/11. And that was her big, she was a psychic, so she used to pop in from time to time just to let me know. Okay. So the fact that you had 1-1 and I have the name Sandra, so she went right saying. So, and that's yeah, let's go up and we're going to talk about this. Oh, I was like wondering, why are random strangers walking up to you with cash?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting, like, your family's kind of trailing.
Sorry.
I did hear raise when you were talking about how the doctor, whoever raised his gun.
The word raised, I like it. Yeah, we're going to get you unmuted for sure. And then you can stop your camera at this point. And